morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is going to be a very brief video on how to register for WebAssign. And then I'm going to show you how to use WebAssign in a very basic way throughout the semester. If there is a technique that we need to learn within WebAssign, I will go ahead and make a separate video for that and label it appropriately and put it in the appropriate spot within Blackboard. That way, it's easy for you to access and find. So let's go ahead and let's look at this. This is a sample registration form. Okay, so all the classes will be the same. It's just where it says course key down here, which is probably going to be blurred out when I go ahead and edit this video, because I don't want anybody using the same course key. So your course key is going to be located on your form itself. All right, and what you're going to do is you're just going to follow these steps, and very simple steps. Step number one, you're going to go to this website here. Now you can control paste or control copy, control paste, or if you want, you can just click here and this is going to pop up right here. Now enter your course key. So where's the course key found? Remember, if we go back to that form that we were looking at, the course key is going to be in blue for you. And remember, the course key is different from the access code. All right. The course key gets you enrolled into my class within WebAssign. The access code is what you actually have to purchase. Okay. So let's go back. So let's go to this right here. So I'm going to type in the course key here. And like I said, this is going to be blurred out. So we're not all using the same course key. And then you end up getting enrolled into the incorrect class. So give me one more second here. I'm just typing this stuff in and click enroll. Now, a couple of things are going to happen. First, all right, your book along with the course should match whatever it says on your schedule. So for example, this is for Math 90, SCO2, but I'm also teaching Math 108 and Math 165 respectively within this summer. So make sure everything matches. If it doesn't, just feel free to email me. But like I said, this applies to anything. So you're going to click on continue here. Now, this is where something's going to happen. So let me go back here. All right. So if you have an account already, then you would just go ahead and you would type in your information and go ahead and click on next and your password and you're good. However, if you do not have an account, you have to go ahead and click down here at the very bottom where it says create an account. All right. And if you do that, it's going to say, okay, are you a student or instructor? Obviously, you're the student. Then you're going to enter an email. Now, you can use your CCAC email address. I don't really care which one or what email address you use. What I really care about is the one that you check. All right. And I will go ahead further into why I want you to use the one that you checked later. All right. So if you don't have an account, you're going to click on student, set up your email, enter the information below. Okay. Institution, Community College of Allegheny County. Do not use CCAC. It's not going to find that. Community College, type it all out. All right. Do you want to receive important updates from Cengage? No. So do not click the first box. All right. But you could totally click the second box here where it says, I agree to the terms of use and privacy policy. You have to do that. Once you do that, this next button here at the very bottom of the screen will be highlighted in blue. So then it's going to ask you to verify your email. That is why I said use an email that you check. All right. And that's where you set up your password. So just go ahead and follow the steps in there. It's very simple. You just click on a link. It says, hey, thanks. Create a password. You create a password. You will be redirected automatically to the WebAssign login page. And then it's going to look something like this right here, where you're going to see your class right here. It may say temporary access if you don't have an account. If you do have an account and what you purchased in the spring semester carries over, then you may not see that. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'll go back here and I'll use my dummy account, which is this one, because I want to see like if I can get inside of it. So let's see here. So that, and then my password. All right. Do not save. All right, perfect. So like I said, right here, if your class is going to match, whatever this is, it's going to match. So just make sure it matches. But then you have a couple options. You got to complete the payment, or you can proceed with temporary access. If I were you, I would proceed with temporary access first. That way you get into the course and then you can go ahead and see how much things are going to cost and everything. So we're going to go ahead and click on continue here for temporary access. And here it is right here. So notice the temporary access says I have 10 days left. So it gives you a little bit of time to go ahead and purchase what you need to. All right. And we're going to just go right in and open up WebAssign here. So let me see, continue with temporary access. Now, this is just a sample class. All right. So, but regardless, it's going to look the same. All right. So let's zoom in. So across the top, you have home, my assignments, your grades, communication, calendar, and your book. So I think it's most important you want to find where the book is first. So here's one option here up in the upper right, or I guess top middle. Okay. Then if you scroll down to the lower right hand side, you're also going to see the book down here as well. And remember, the class that you were enrolled in, the book will match. Everything's listed the exact same. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's look at a current assignment. All right. So this is where I transition from registering into WebAssign to how do we actually use WebAssign. All right. So I'm going to click on our assignment here. And like I said, this is just a sample assignment. And it's going to, WebAssign is going to remind you like, hey, your WebAssign trial expires very soon. So make sure you get access. So we're just going to get out of here for now. So across the top, it's always going to be the homework, the course you're registered in, and then the chapter and section. And then if there's enough space, I start typing in like what it's called. All right. On the right hand side, you can print the assignment if you'd like. All right. The only issue with this is it's going to take up a lot of pages. All right. Something like this assignment, which is 14 questions, maybe, I don't know, 8 or 9 pages. So if you prefer doing paper and pencil, that's fine with me. But then you still got to type your answers with it, like in the website itself. All right. So we'll look at that right now. Oh, we won't look at that right now. What we're going to look at is the due date. All right. So the due date is always nice and big. It's always going to be on the right hand side. Okay. And it'll tell you when it's due. Traditionally, I always make homework due the Sunday of whatever week that you learn the material in, and it'll always be due by 11:59 p.m. Homework also has unlimited attempts. So you can try the homework as many times as you want. I don't care. All right. I just want you to get the best possible score on the homework because it's practice and that's what it's there for. In the event that you run out of time or something like that, or maybe you get sick, you didn't finish the homework, you can always request an extension. That's fine with me. Okay. Um, but you got to do it within WebAssign. Please do not email me and say, hey, can you reopen Math 90s, Chapter 2, Section 7 homework for me? Because I'm not going to be able to do that. I need the request from you first, because then I get an email that says, oh, here's the link for this specific extension. So just go ahead and just click on the request extension. You can tell me when you would like it due. So let's make it due on right here on this date, I guess. Don't worry about the time. I always fix the time no matter what. You can give me a reason, sick, or you can just leave it blank. It doesn't matter to me. And then you just click on submit. You get a little green check mark right here that says, okay, hey, request submitted. And then, like I said, on my end, I get a notification that says that you wanted the extension. Okay. Next, homework itself. All right. Now, sometimes you will be asked to graph something. Okay. And like I said, if it's a very specific task like graphing, I have a separate video for this. But I just want you to look at that. Yes, we do graph it here, and there's some things that you use. This is just a number line graph, but we can graph in 2 dimensions, which is like X and Y, or we can graph in 3 dimensions, which would be X, Y, Z. It's all in here. But if we get to that specifically, there will be a separate video. The most important thing that I want you to look at here, all right, is just the banner across the top. All right. First, 2/7/430. I have no idea what this 430 is, nor do I even care. What I really care about is this 2, which is chapter 2, section 7. All right. Next, points. It tells you how many points this question is for. So it's out of 3 points. There are details, which just basically says, okay, this is how many points you got for the first part, the second part, the third part. Technically, you only have 100 attempts, which I said you have unlimited. But I can always fix this and readjust it so you have unlimited. All right. But let's be honest. If you were taking 100 times to answer the question, one of 2 things are happening. You are either A, guessing and hoping that you get it correct, or B, you have no idea what's going on. And if that's the case, I would hope you would reach out to me before you attempted a problem 100 times. All right. Second thing would be the notes. If you want to enter some notes here, like check interval notation, you can leave that here. All right. And there's a little check mark that says, hey, you got some notes on this problem. So make sure you check it out. All right. On the right-hand side, we have ask your teacher and then practice another. So the ask your teacher is probably the most important part. Because if you have no idea what you're doing on this problem, you would click here on ask your teacher. You can give me a reason. No idea, which is fine. Okay. And then you would click on send. Notice you have a little check mark right here. Okay. And if it's something small, like something I can easily type in, I will go ahead and send you a message back within WebAssign. That way, when you go back to the homework and stuff like that, you'll see, hey, he responded perfect, and this is the explanation. 99% of the time, though, I'm writing something up for you, and I will show you what that looks like in a completely separate video. The other thing would be practice another, okay? So if you want to click on practice another, it gives you just another homework problem. That's it, okay? So this is what like a graphing example would look like. All right. But if we scroll down here, all right, notice like with this one right here, where it says write the interval notation. Okay. So if I were to click on this box, the math pad on the right hand side of the page opens up. And this is where you would use anything that like is math print or math font. And I cannot stress this enough. If you are writing it in your notes or in your homework notebook correctly, then you can type it in correctly as well. What I mean by that is, let's say, for example, I wanted a parenthesis, I wanted a fraction, and I wanted like an infinity symbol. Okay. So here I would just I would click on parenthesis, then the fraction bar, type in 1/2. All right. Hit a comma. Now, sometimes you got to be careful. Let me zoom in. Let me see how much I can zoom in here. Oh, that looks good. All right, so let's do this again. All right, because on my keyboard, I hit the parenthesis button, but you can also, let me see if I can, where would it be? Function symbols. Okay, it's not even here, even better. So, parenthesis. Now, on the right-hand side, you have operations, you have functions, you have symbols, you have relations, you have sets, trig, and then Greek. Depending on the course, you may be using any one of those. So it all depends. But for me, I clicked on the fraction button because I wanted 1/2. Now, you can see right here, the cursor is blinking on the 1. To get down here in the denominator, two options. Arrow key on your keyboard, or you can just click. I just clicked right there. So I'm at a 2. But notice that that cursor is still down in the denominator. To move it to the right, in other words, to get it out of the denominator, you can hit the right arrow button. So I'm going to hit the right arrow button now. And you can see the cursor moved over. Or if you wanted to, you could just take your mouse and just click. You want to make sure, though, that it's no longer in the denominator. So just take your time when you're typing things in. So now I'm going to hit comma. And like I said, let's say I needed the infinity symbol. Okay. So I'm going to come over to here where it says symbols. And right here's my infinity symbol. So I click on infinity. And not only did I get the infinity symbol, but it says down here, last saved, Sunday, May 19th, 2024 at 9:17 p.m. So if something happened where like your power went out or something like that, hopefully, I'm not guaranteeing it, but hopefully WebAssign saved what you have typed in here so far. It should, but it's not perfect. Nothing is ever perfect. All right. So then let's go ahead and let's submit the answer and see what happens. So as soon as I click on submit, in the top right here, you're going to see like a little green little tab that comes down. I think it's green and gray, and it says submitted. And then it's also going to tell you the result. Like, did you get the answer right or did you get it incorrect? So I just clicked on submit. So we're waiting for WebAssign. All right. And here you go. So there's the little submitted thing that came down. I told you that. All right. And if it submits, it automatically saves. So you know, like if you just closed out of this homework right now, this is saved. Then I got a red X here, which means the answer is incorrect, which means I would have to go back and do this all over again to make sure I get the right answer. Now, the way that I have homework set up is that if you get the first answer correct, you can click on submit. And if there's a green check mark, then you can move on to the second part. And if you get this correct, you can click submit. then it would tell you if it's right or wrong. And then you can go ahead down here. In other words, I always keep the best score for each individual part of the problem. That way, you're not redoing the entire problem every single time. All right. Um, and that I think is pretty much it when it comes to using WebAssign. It's very straightforward, it's very intuitive. But just like anything else, if you ever have a question, all you have to do is email me and ask, and I will go ahead and help you through it. Okay. And with that being said, I'm going to end this video. So see you in the next one. Part of the problem.